continues to circulate and people read it, is I think there's the potential for ruptures to appear in the liberal-left coalition. And let me give you an example. Organized labor. That's a big part of the coalition of the liberal left. Well, I went through the book and decided, do these people who advocate labor unions actually use labor unions? And it's really quite remarkable. I mean, Ralph Nader, who campaigned and said that businesses with as few as 12 people should have labor unions, and it's the only way to protect worker rights. Some of his employees a few years ago tried to form a union, and he fired them. And he changed the locks on the front door. Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat leader in the House, she takes money and has supported the hotel employees and restaurant employees union in strikes in San Francisco, been a very strong advocate. She won in 2003 the Cesar Chavez Award from the United Farm Workers Union. Well, Nancy Pelosi is one of the wealthiest members of Congress. She and her husband are part owners of a chain of restaurants called Piatti. They are also part owners of a very exclusive hotel in Napa Valley, California. Combined, we're talking about 1,200 employees. The hotel and the restaurants are strictly non-union. You can't join the Hotel Employees and Restaurant Employees Union if you're working for one of those businesses. And yet, she's saying how important this union is. And on their Napa Valley vineyard, they don't use United Farm Workers contractors to pick their grapes. They use immigrants and others. So the point being, I think this is not just a question of conservatives looking at this and saying, I knew it. I think it's also a question of a lot of people on the liberal left who should feel taken for granted. I mean, you pick the Nancy Pelosi example. This is really quite ironic. She speaks and is very close to the leaders of the AFL-CIO, attends their meetings every year, speaks there every year. The AFL-CIO has a very strict policy. They do not stay in hotels that are non-union. They couldn't stay in Nancy Pelosi's hotel because it's non-union. She couldn't have a meeting with them there. If I were a member of a union, I'd be upset about that, and I would want to have an accounting on why that's the case. So, question over here?